The scripture reading is from Deuteronomy 10:12-22. Now, in light of all that, Israel, what does the Lord your God ask of you? Only this, to revere the Lord your God by walking in all his ways, by loving him, by serving the Lord your God with all your heart and being, and by keeping the Lord's commandments and his regulations that I'm commanding you right now. It's for your own good. Clearly, the Lord owns the sky, the highest heavens, the earth, and everything in it. But the Lord adored your ancestors, loving them and choosing the descendants that followed them, you from all other people. That's how things still stand now. So circumcise your hearts and stop being so stubborn, because the Lord your God is the God of all gods and Lord of all lords, the great, mighty, and awesome God who doesn't play favorites and doesn't take bribes. He enacts justice for orphans and widows, and he loves immigrants, giving them food and clothing. That means you must also love immigrants because you were immigrants in Egypt. Revere the Lord your God, serve him, cling to him, swear by his name alone. He is your praise, and he is your God, the one who performed these great and awesome acts that you witnessed with your very own eyes. Your ancestors went down to Egypt with a total of 70 people, but now look, the Lord your God has made you as numerous as the stars in the nighttime sky.
Good morning. I'm excited to be with you here again today. It's been a minute since I've been here. But today I have the privilege of introducing your speaker to you. I've gotten to know Masemo through my work at St. Francis Migration Ministries, formerly Episcopal Migration Ministries, a refugee resettlement agency in Wichita. I've volunteered and worked there since graduating Bethel in 2014. My job as a caseworker is with newly arriving families like Masemo's to help them transition to life in America. This includes a wide range of cultural orientation topics, such as helping clients learn to ride the bus, going grocery shopping, opening checking accounts, to more nuanced things such as finding work, English skills, recently filing tax returns and finding health insurance, things that are a little bit more tricky to navigate on your own. It's a great place that I work. Every day holds a new task or experience, and I've had the opportunity to work with newcomers and helping expose them to cultural norms for their adjustment, and it's pretty cool. But that's enough about me. Our speaker this morning is a husband and father of 4. He arrived in Kansas, in Heston, with his family in December 2014. He's from the Democratic Republic of Congo, but was forced to flee his home country due to war. He fled to Kenya with his family, where they lived for 6 years before being granted permission to enter the United States as refugees. Masemo is a gifted musician and is currently attending Heston College in the Bible and Ministry program. He made a promise to God that if he was able to find safety in another part of the world, that he would share his story and the story of so many others he left behind. He hopes his story sheds light on the realities of life in parts of Africa and that it inspires others to make a difference. I know I've been blessed to get to know him, and I'm glad that each of you get that opportunity now. Masemo, would you come here, please? Thank you.
Good morning. I'm glad I'm here today, and it is a good opportunity. I think this is my first time for me to come at this place, and I was surprised also when I was coming and Kara told me, "Have you been here?" I said, "No, it's a new place." And I was just asking how will I be able to talk in this big church. But I thank God because he has made it. As you have heard, my name is Masemo Wakibogo from Congo, DRC, and maybe some of you, they know where Congo is in Africa, and some, they don't know. Congo is in Central of Africa. I think now is the second country largest in Africa, and I'm from east of Congo, where we have border with Republic of Rwanda, Burundi, and Tanzania. That's where I came from. And I was just thinking what is happening in this world, but I will be brief because of the time. I will have to share because I will be sharing maybe I will talk more in Sunday school. But for right now, I will be breathing so that I may not take a lot of time. As you have heard Kendra said, being refugee and immigrant are two things different. And being a refugee is not easy. And as you know, Congo has a lot of history of war. Congo has been in war even since before I was not yet born. And we were born in war, and we grown up in war. And I don't want to start like before I was born. I will start where things I have seen when I was grown up. Congo has a big history in Africa, and I think it's the first country in the world to have 5 presidents in one time. 2001 and 3, we had 5 presidents in one time. And Congo was known before independent Congo. It was the property of King Leopold II from Belgium. And when he died, he just gave Congo to Belgium government, and the name of the country changed again, and it became Belgium Congo. And when we get independence, the name change of the country again for Republic of Congo. And when Mobutu, the president, I think you heard them, he changed the name of the country, came Zaire. I think you have heard Zaire. And Mobutu reigned 22 years, 32 years in power. And when his successor came, who was Laurent Desire Kabila, he changed the name again from Zaire to Democratic Republic of Congo. You can see how the name of the country has changed because of the war. If the president came in, he just changed the name of the country the way he wants. Maybe if I could say the example, if Trump is now the president, he could change United America and he just gives the name he wants. We will not be called again America, maybe we will be something else. Maybe Obama also could change his own name. You can see how the country is in trouble. And we have been asking, why are we in trouble every year, every generation? So, since 1996-97, my life was in danger. The war started in our country, and we have been running every time in the forest. And you are glad because you have peace, and you are thank God because you have peace. But other people are looking even to know what is the breakfast, what is the lunchtime. They don't know lunchtime, breakfast, or lunch, or supper. They don't know about supper. And during all those years, we have been running in the forest, and you can imagine how the life will be being or living in the forest. There is no chemist, there is no food, no car, no anything. You know, you have good houses, you have good cars, but during the war, you do not go even with your truck. You will not run even with your house. Even you will not run even with your children. Do you imagine if war comes right now here? Everyone will go his way or her way. No one will care where is my husband is here. And a lot of women have lost their husbands. A lot of husbands have lost their wives. They don't know. They can trust where they are. There are a lot of children who don't know where their parents are. And I've been fled different places in my country, And 2010, I came to Kenya, and where I lived 6 years and a half. And then I thought maybe in Kenya life will be easy, but it was terrible. And I lived 3 months outside with my children. And I was eating once, and our eating was like, in Kenya there's some place where Chinese have the free restaurant. You can go Monday to Friday to eat only once at lunchtime. So we lived in such way, and God opened my door one day, 2015, and I get the opportunity to come to the United States. But it is not easy for someone to come to the United States. There is a lot of process, a lot of interviews. And imagine you can be asked something which you said 10 years ago. And when the immigration from United States goes to Kenya, they will ask the same things you said 10 years ago. And maybe you might remember some. And if you don't remember, you must be disqualified for you to come to the United States. I think I will share more about my life, this Dutch brief, in Sunday school class. But let us turn with me in the Bible, Proverbs 29, verse 7. It says, the righteous know the right of poor, the wicked have no such understanding. Here we have verbs know. Righteous, people of God, know how to care the poor, how to care other people who are in need, how to care people who are suffering. They know. Because if you know something, now you can get involved to do something because you know. You can't do something which you don't know. And it is good opportunity for us to know that in the world, it's not only in Congo, people are suffering and they need your help. There are people who don't know where their family are. I can say I don't know some of my family where they are, if they are died or they are alive. There are people who don't know where their husbands are. There are people, eating is like a miracle. The righteousness know how to care other people who are suffering, how to care other people who needs your prayer, who needs something from you, because it is not by mistake for you to be alive. I always ask God, why am I alive? And why are you alive? And if you are alive, what are you doing for others? And just ask why United States you have peace, and other places they don't have peace. And why are you alive and why am I alive? Is it because I'm better than others? And why God saved me? He saved me from all those circumstances during the war 1997 up to today. And why others died? Is it because of what I'm doing? I'm what I am because of what I'm doing? You are what you are because of what you are doing? That's the question. And are you what you are because of what you have? You have good night, good car, good husband, good wife. You have money. Are you what you are because of what others are talking about you? You are a good man, you are a good giver. Maybe you are a good person in the community, or people talking about negative things or positive things to you, and if they say positive things, you are happy, you are excited because they have praised you, you are a good person. Is that why you are? Or if people talk about negative things about you, and you get angry, you must ask yourself, why am I alive? And what am I doing for others? And who am I? What I do because I have a good, nice work? That is why I'm living. Am I living because I have a good husband? Am I living because I have good job? Am I living because I have good house? That all those things are nothing. We are what we are because of God's will. We are what we are because God has allowed it. And if we are God's people, sons and daughters of God, we must care other people are still suffering because God has given us life for a purpose. And when you give, just give without thinking what you are, but think and do what God tells you to do. Don't do something because some people are talking about you. There are some people who are still doing things because pastor has said. They are doing things because his neighbor or her neighbor has told her to do something. So they are still doing things because according to what others are talking about them. There are people who are doing things because I will do because I have. But as people of God, we do because God loved us first. Luke 21, verse 1 to 4. There is a wonderful woman who came to the temple in Jerusalem when other people, rich people, are giving their gift in the church. And that basket was only for the women. But because of the increase of the tax in Israel, even the men also were going there to give their gift in the church. And Jesus was there. And can you imagine how the poor person, poor woman, and I think Josephus and his officials, who was one of the officials in that temple, he could dismiss that offering of that woman because it could not meet nothing before them. But that woman didn't care how she is. She didn't care what she has. She didn't care what people are talking about her. And she didn't care what people will talk, what kind of coins are you giving in the temple. But she did it because of God. And a lot of rich people are going to Jerusalem, to the temple. They are giving because of what they have. They are giving because what people are talking to them. You are rich, just give. And you know, when you have $3,000, because you shall, I will just give you 50, it's no problem. Another person can tell you, just give 100. Because people, you are giving because people have told you. You are doing things because people have told you. And this woman, people have been talking, how can you come to give coins, even it's less than a penny, before in front, where rich people are giving their offering, people who have things, people who has a good, nice houses, people who are higher. But that woman didn't care what she had, but he just cared what God says. And she came in the church, and Jesus was there. Everybody's coming, and he's giving what he has. And that woman came with only 2 coins, less than a penny, and she put it in the basket. And Jesus saw that, and she declared, this woman has given more, and she became a greater giver. Among the greatest giver among all those people, rich people. And people are surprised. Why? The intention of the people, Israel, I just give because I'm living because of what I have. I'm living because of what I do.
I'm living because what people are talking against about me. Maybe people are talking good things about me, and you are excited. But your life is not because what people are talking about you. Your life is not about what you have. Your life is not about what you do. Your life is what is about God. Let us do not things, not in our will, but God's will. Remember, if you give, don't give because someone has told you. If you help, because you have known, you are God's son, God's daughter, you have known. You are doing because you have God. Jesus is commanding you. Is not again your leader. Your leader will not make you to go to heaven. And when you die, remember we have framework time for our life. Our life are short. Maybe I was born in 1982, and others were born maybe 1929. Others are not yet, are not in life today, but me and you, we're still alive. But someday our life will end. And when we go before God in heaven, you will not say that I was living because of what I have. No. People of God live according to God's will. They do things because God has commanded them to do. They know what to do. If you have money, you know what to do. It is God who tells you what to do. If you care others according to God's will. Righteous know the right. They know. They care the poor. And if you are a man of God, even people talk against you, negative things, you still love them. Because God created new group of people out of all people in the world. And God loves everybody. God loves everyone. Asia, America, Africa, Europe, Ocean, all are God's people. And we help because we know other people are suffering. When I went to college, Bethel College, I asked one question. How many of you, I will ask this question again, and when I was 2 weeks ago at First Mennonite Church, I asked the same question. I didn't know even one single person who raised his hand or her hand that he has stayed 4 weeks without drinking, without eating. I will ask the same question in this church today. How many of you can stay or sustain 6 weeks, 6 days, 6 days without drinking anything, eating anything, or without changing your clothes? Oh, my God. Thank God. Thank God. Don't thank this peace. Don't thank this peace that is something what is not, is other people are crying. Other people are spending 6 days without eating. I was in Kenya, I did 1 month without changing my clothes. Because there was no hope. There are people who don't know where to go and what to do. Everything has been destroyed. Because you have known, because now you know, you don't react because others have reacted. Don't do things because others have done. Do things according to God has told you. Because you are living according to God's will. You are alive because God has allowed for you to be alive. But what are you doing for others? Have you taken even 1 day without eating to pray, to give your body, Romans 12, to God, to pray for others? Are you doing because you are forced to do? Are you giving because you are forced to do, to give? Remember, the powerless woman became greatest giver. Rich people were talking about her. She didn't care about that. She said, I will go because of God. She looked God. She put God in front of her. She didn't care how rich people will say about her offering. You might say that, oh, I don't have something to give. And there are people who are doing, why are you giving such amount of money? Or why are you wasting your time to pray, to do? No. You righteous, God of people, know others who are suffering. They know what to do. They know, and they are doing it because of God. Let me tell you, I went during the war in my country. One day we ran to Island. It was Island where people are living like 5 meters. We have lake, 5-foot lake in front of you. Behind you we have a big mountain, because in our country there are a lot of mountains. And we were between mountain and lake. And then Burundi army were coming in a ship to fight against as a troop. They were helping the allies who were fighting against the government. And when we just landed in the beach, the Burundi army were in the ship in the lake. They thought maybe we are enemies. And there were a lot of people, thousands of people, and they started shooting. And you can imagine how the military ship shoots. I saw people laying on water 1 hour without dying. They cannot swim. I myself, we were like 50 people lying behind a mango tree. But we lost a lot of people there. One of my friends, he could not run right, left, or go behind, or go in lake. In front of him was a stone, a big stone. And he thought that if I go this way, I will be shot. If I go this way, I will be shot. If I go to the mountain, that is where they are shooting. And a lot of stones were coming from the mountain and was hitting people who are below the mountain. And those are people lost their life. That guy, he just went and put his head in front of that stone so that he can save his head, but it is okay if his leg can be shot. And he just stayed on that stone like this, almost 1 hour there. He was trying, that was only the safe place for him to save his head. Do you imagine if you are disabled, you are a lame, you cannot walk during the war? People will just jump on you and you will die. Your wife, your daughter will not care about you because she's trying to run away to save her life. People have lost their life during the war. People have lost their life a lot. I remember one day I was in my house and the war came. We were in my family. Everyone runs his way. My father didn't care where I was running, and my mother didn't care where I was running. My brother didn't care where to go. Everyone was, hey, let me save my life. And I came in Kenya without my father. Let us do because God, but don't do because what people are saying. As you go home today, know that you are God's daughter, you are God's sons. Do things because God has tells you to do. Know that there are others who are suffering. You are alive by a purpose, and that purpose, you must fulfill it by God's will. As you go home, rethink again what you give and why. Are you giving because your leader said to give? Or are you giving because God has told you to give? And when you give, are you giving what God has said you to give? Or you are giving because only I always give so that I can pleasure people? Rethink again. What you talk about others. Are you praying? What are you talking with others? Rethink again. Are you living because of what you do? Or what you have? Or what others are talking about you? Or because God has given you that life? Rethink again. What do you do? Are you doing it for God's will or for your own will? Let us do things according to God's will, not because of what we have or others say about us or what we do. We are God's children, and God cares all people. Love our enemy. Love everybody. I thank Pastor what he said. We are God's sons, and God created that peace by a purpose so that we can be one people in Jesus Christ in all over the world. Let us help others who are suffering in the world, because that is God's will. God bless you. Thank you.